is Monique DeBose, and today is day 3 of our segment. So I am so excited about this week-long 10-minute powering up of creation. So today's conversation is about feeling free in your own skin. And this to me is so important because our skin, who we are, it's our casing. It's what we walk around in. It is the actual barrier between us and the world. And so being able to feel free in this skin and in this container allows us to really experience life and allows us to really enjoy life and approach it with great enthusiasm. So today we're talking about feeling free in your own skin. And so I wanted to ask you, what does free mean to you and why is it important? Because what's the point of feeling free in our skin if it's not important to us? So when I sat back and thought about it, feeling free to me means I get to follow my gut. I get to follow my intuition. I get to follow a feeling inside my body or an impetus, and I actually get to act it out. I get to let it go from the moment it's in the inception of it all the way to the manifestation of it. And these can be tiny little things. But if my intuition says, you know what, today I'm going to make a left on this street instead of a right, that I allow myself to feel free to do that. Or if I have the intuitive hit to go up and talk to that person, even though I don't know them, I feel free enough in myself, grounded enough in myself to actually go up and do it and trust that that's what I'm here to do. So that's what freedom means, or feeling free means to me. And then why is it important? Because this is what I sat with this for a minute, and it is important because it is in that space, that feeling of freedom. It's in that space that happiness, peace, calm, contentment, joy, that's where those qualities and those experiences actually live from my experience. So it's extremely important. So I think it's always necessary to have buy-in from yourself for why you would go and approach something that may be scary. So that is what it means to me and why it's so important to me. And let's actually talk about feeling free. I didn't say free in your own skin. I said feeling free in your own skin. And there's a distinction here because we each come into this world with certain qualities, actual characteristics that define us. So for instance, I come into this world with this color skin tone, with this texture hair, with this bone structure, with this body type. So that is who I came in as. And so me feeling free in what I actually have is really important because some people in the history of the world have taken advantage of others based on their skin, based on their ability to overpower, based on whatever. So what I want to really talk about is feeling free. There's a famous author, and I know I'm going to mess up his name because I always mix him up with somebody else, so I won't even say it. But if you are watching, and you can just type it in for me in the comments. But there's a famous author who lived through concentration camps, a Jewish author, or a Jewish man, and he wrote a book, and the space between the actual event that happens and our reaction is what we have the freedom to choose. And so that to me is really about the feeling of free. So I want to make that clear. There's a feeling free versus free. Just really want to get that piece. So why don't we feel free? That is something that I want to explore, and that gets me to the tool I want to share with you today. So oftentimes we don't feel free because we are judging others or we are judging ourselves. And that's really important. When we spend our energy judging others or judging ourselves, we lock ourselves in. We don't allow ourselves to be connected and allow ourselves to pass through this barrier, this protector, this carrier that holds our soul, that holds us. So let's do a quick example. My natural state when I'm feeling free is to be really funny, is to really be engaged, is to really have connection with people, to dive right in. But if I'm sitting in a space of judgment around, oh, those people are really wealthy, so they're not going to accept me, or those people are really poor. I'll just go with money, I guess, right now. And I don't know that they would understand where I come from or that kind of thing. So if I create that judgment without actually having any information, yes, I may have information that they are wealthy or poor, but the stories I make up around that are the judgments, then I've blocked myself off from being connected to them. So judging ourselves and judging others is a huge barrier to us feeling free in our own skin. So that's what I want to share with you today. I want to share a practice that is something I consider so amazing. It is a practice of self-forgiveness. So as soon as I say the word forgiveness, I think of Hamilton, and I just think of Lin-Manuel Miranda's amazing songwriting skills. But for those of you who know, it's quiet uptown. But I'm not going to go into that anymore. The practice of self-forgiveness. So it's a 2-step process, and I want to share it with you, and I want to invite you to actually practice it today and share in the comments what it actually felt like to do self-forgiveness. And I'm going to actually do it for you because I believe modeling is the most important thing. So what beliefs or misunderstandings are you carrying? What beliefs or misunderstandings are you carrying? Because those are usually what our judgments are of ourselves, of others, and that is the barrier to us feeling free in our skin. And feeling free in our skin is the place and the space where happiness, contentment, joy, peace, genuine love, and enthusiasm lives. So we want to get there. So what beliefs and misunderstandings are you carrying? For an example, again, I'm happy to share. My life is an open book for actually pretty much everything. A judgment I walk around with is, a judgment I walk around with is, I don't know enough to really be in a place of leadership. Now, I know the truth is I know plenty. I've had so many experiences, life experiences, educational experiences that really put me in a space of leadership. Yet I still have a judgment that shows up sometimes. So I have this judgment that I don't have enough to be in a place of leadership. So that's a judgment. So with this practice, you want to first get clear on what your actual judgments are. So I'm putting up this list. Hopefully you will be able to see it. Oops, so got everything except the L for myself. So I'm going to take that down and start with the first one. So here you go. Here's step 1. Write a list. Maybe just start with 5 or even start with 3. Write a list of 3 judgments or beliefs or misunderstandings that you have about life, about yourself, about other people. And it might not even seem like a judgment. It might just seem like, oh, that's just what is. Oh, no, I know rich people are like that. Or, oh, no, I know poor people are like that. Or, if only you knew my mother, Monique, I know she's like that. Fine. Write down the belief or the misunderstanding. Just write it down. So if it is, oh, no, my mother is like that. That's just who she is. Then write down the quality. My mother is very intrusive. Or rich people are very snobbish. Or poor people are really uneducated. Whatever your belief is. So write down and just do a list of 3. Just do a list of 3. And then here's the next step. So step 2 is the actual act of self-forgiveness. And I'm going to put this up and then do this quickly, and then we're going to say goodbye. So I have a belief that I don't have enough experience or education to be a real master or leader. So I'm going to just put my hand on my heart. I'm going to breathe in, and as I hear that statement, I'm going to see where it actually lives inside my body. So it lives for me right here. That's not that important, but I'm just bringing that to your awareness. Sometimes beliefs have an actual location in your body. So I So I have a belief that I am not educated or experienced enough to be a leader. And so then you go on and say this beautiful statement. I forgive myself. And I like to place my hands on my heart because it's just such a warm, loving place and a space of forgiveness. So I forgive myself for judging myself as not experienced enough or educated enough to be a leader. I forgive myself for buying into that misunderstanding that I am not educated enough or experienced enough to be a leader. And just giving ourselves that gift of self-forgiveness really frees up space. And when we free up space, we actually have more of a sensation of feeling free. And when we feel free in our own skin, we are able to do so much and really live the life we are meant to live. So that's what I want to share with you today. I want to ask you to share with me how you feel free in your body, in your own skin, and experiences of when you haven't felt free and what that's actually felt like. So I'm Monique DeBose, and I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow. Bye.